Hey, Susan. Don't you think it's a little unnecessary to get involved with a silly argument between our daughters? You're being a real helicopter parent. Are you serious? I thought you were texting me to apologize for what Jill did. Do you even know what she did to Brienne? She was only messing around. She didn't mean it. I think you're making too much of it. Let them settle it themselves. There's no reason for you to get involved. It's gotten to this point because they obviously can't settle things themselves. She wrote nasty notes about Brienne and passed them around to everyone in her class. She threw Brienne's things in the garbage, broke some of her other stuff on purpose. She even cut some of her hair off. Well, maybe she did do that. But I don't think any of that was bad enough for parents to get involved. You don't think she went too far? Listen, I understand if you're mad. But if you keep fighting all your daughter's battles, she'll never be able to do anything on her own. Even if Jill wanted to apologize, if she gets confronted by her friend's mom, I honestly think you'd just be making it worse. You should really just let them settle it on their own. I know you think you're helping Brienne, but it's actually the opposite. Jill cut off my daughter's hair. Forget about me getting involved. I could get the police involved if I wanted to. This isn't something that's just going to resolve itself. If you aren't going to do anything, I have to step in. Like I said, you're really making too big of a deal out of this. No, I'm not. I even asked their teacher to get involved. She's warned Jill plenty of times. It's only made things worse. Jill has been ramping up the bullying. Their teacher even tried reaching out to you. Why didn't you ever meet with her? Oh, did she? I wasn't aware. No, you probably just didn't want to be bothered to go and meet with her. Do you think the way you're handling everything is acceptable? That's not why at all. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. How could I have met with their teacher if I didn't know she wanted to talk? Listen to yourself. How would you feel if it was your kid that was getting bullied, and I was saying the same things to you? I don't know about any of it, so oh well, ha ha ha. That's completely unacceptable thinking out of a parent. I think there has to be a reason for why my kid is getting bullied. It's not just one person's fault. Is that right? You'd really think that after seeing the torture your child was going through, they must be doing something to deserve it? If that's what you think, I don't want to hear you complain if Brienne ever decides to stand up for herself. Jeez, you don't need to get this worked up. Whatever. I guess Jill might have been a little rude to your precious little Brienne. We'll pay you back for all the stuff she broke and give you a little extra just to smooth things over. Paying us back is a no-brainer. Money can't fix all the torment that Jill put Brienne through. You have no idea how much this has hurt her. Yeah, well, Jill apologized, didn't she? Shouldn't that be enough? They're just kids. They'll make up and get over it. How can you be so naive? You should just chill out and let them handle things. Whatever. I guess I'm sorry too. We've known each other since our daughters were in preschool. Let's just let this slide. Back then, if I knew what kind of mother you'd be, I would have cut my ties with you. I don't have any desire to forgive you. Oh, wow. Oh, you're being a bit harsh. And you're living in your own little world. I'm trying to resolve this situation like an adult. I said I was sorry. What else do you want? Money. I already said we'd throw you some money for your and Brienne's troubles. So won't you forgive my little Jilly? Please and thank you. Heyo! What are you doing next Saturday? Are you kidding me? Oh, you're in a bad mood, I see. Oh, don't get so worked up. You're gonna raise your blood pressure. Anyway, about next Saturday. I have something super important I have to do. Jill will probably have nothing to do that day since I won't be home. It would be okay if I drop her off at your place, right? You can't be serious. Why would you ask me that? Just ask your husband to watch her. Oh, well, I guess I could ask him. But I thought it would be way better to set up a little play date with Jill and Brienne. I'm sure he's more than capable of looking after her. If you're that worried about her, why don't you bring her with you to wherever you're going? If it's really that important. Oh, I can't do that! Bringing a kid would really bring down the mood. You see, I'm going on a little trip with one of my friends. Oh, I don't think Jill would have a very good time if I brought her with me. It's not that I despise my daughter or anything like that. What? I never said you despised your daughter. Are you mad again? I feel like you're being a bit rude to me. I can't believe I have to remind you of this. But you do remember our last conversation, don't you? I'm a bit shocked you could just ask me to watch your daughter after everything I said she was doing to Brienne. Whatever do you mean? Oh, I thought they made up and were best buddies again. No, they didn't. They haven't spoken to each other since then. Oh. Why don't you try getting them to be friends again? That's a joke, right? Oh, they're just kids. They'll listen if a parent tells them to do something. Jill is a simple kid. All you need to do is give her a few dollars and she'll do whatever you say. Absolutely not. You're being ridiculous. You think so? Isn't your husband the president of a company? You're being a little cheap, if you ask me. That's not the point. Why do I have to be the one who gives your daughter money? Well, because your husband is loaded. Throwing Jilly $20 is barely a drop in the bucket for you guys. So you'll do it, won't you? If I were you, I'd be giving her at least $100 every month. I really can't stand you. You're acting like a child. Oh, you really have a short fuse. You should get it together. This is no way how a president of a company's wife should act. Or maybe you're not fit to be married to someone so elite. Wow. Oh well. I'll just let the kids figure things out on their own. I obviously can't rely on you to change anything. Great, got it. Don't text me anymore unless it's an emergency. Hey! You'll never guess where I am right now. Diane! Where have you been? Oh, did you hear? Actually, I'm on vacation with your husband right now. What? Why are you with him right now? Because he's my future husband. Now I'm gonna be the one to be married to a big shot executive. I hate to ask, but could you consent to the divorce once we get back? Are you serious? Oh, I don't blame you for being shocked. I mean, I totally stole your husband. He's already agreed. He wants to get remarried to me. How does it feel to get your husband stolen from you? You have no idea what's going on right now. Just cut it out. Now's really not the time you should be worrying about getting remarried. Uh-oh, someone's mad. You're in a real panic. I think it's best if we move forward ASAP with this. I don't want to waste any time waiting to marry my new hubby. So could you go and fetch the divorce papers and have them ready by the time we get back? We can worry about that later. Diane, you need to listen to me right now. I'm not interested in a lecture about this whole thing. Me and Matt are having the time of our lives right now on vacation. Don't try and bother us and ruin everything. Bye-bye. Wait! Oh, pick up the phone. Did you tell my husband about what's happening? You seem pretty calm in a time like this. Yeah, I am calm, especially compared to a hothead like you. Aren't you tired of being angry all the time? Me and Matt just got back from our lovely trip. But when I went to go open my front door, my key wouldn't fit. Is my husband behind this? I wonder... Why wouldn't my key fit anymore? I guess he changed the locks? Really? Well, that would be a big pain. What's his problem? I mean, I was planning on leaving him, but that's no reason to lock me out of the house. Is that all you're worried about right now? Nothing else is on your mind? Oh yeah, did you get the divorce papers like I asked? No. Seriously, I told you to run over and get them. Get it done today. Listen, Matt said he thinks it would be the best not to see you, so with that and the fact I'm locked out, we're probably just gonna get a hotel room for the night. Oh, that reminds me. You changed the locks at your house too, right? Matt texted me saying I'm locked out too. I think you need to get your head checked. Ugh, what's your problem? You're so obnoxious. I'm the one who should be saying that. All that's on your mind right now is not being able to get into your house? And those stupid divorce papers too? Yeah, of course. What else should I be worried about? Anyway, we just checked into our hotel. We can talk again tomorrow about what the next step is for the divorce. The divorce? I think there might be something more pressing to talk about. Do you mean settlement money? After all we've been through, you can't just let it slide. It's all water under the bridge. I mean, I guess Matt would end up paying for it, though. Whatever. Oh, you're a classless scumbag. What did you say to me? How dare you talk to me like that? This can't be happening. Jill's wake. Oh, I guess someone finally told you. My mom did. That's great. I'm glad someone finally let you know. I just don't understand. Jill passed away. Oh, what's happening? You think it's a lie? You think your mother would lie to you about that? No, I don't think she would. I can't believe it. How could this happen? I'll tell you what's happening now, at least. Your parents and Matt's parents practically buried their heads in shame. They feel totally responsible for what happened. What? They're at a complete loss for words. They were practically catatonic at the funeral home. They were? Of course they were. This would have never happened if you and Matt didn't have an affair. You two are the ones who should feel all of the guilt for this. I mean, even if you did feel responsible, which I doubt you do, it won't bring Jill back. What are you talking about? Just tell me what happened to Jill. Jill and your husband were hit by a car. What? That day you sent me a picture of you and my husband on your vacation together, your husband and Jill actually came over to my house. Why? Jill wanted to apologize to Brienne. Apologize for what? For what she did. Your husband told me the truth, too. You told Jill to bully Brienne, didn't you? I would never. I never said anything like that to her. Is that right? Well, guess what? Jill wrote down everything you said to her in her diary. In her diary, she wrote, "I'm so sorry for what I did, Brienne. I didn't want to do any of it, but my mom made me. She screamed at me until I agreed to do it." When your husband found your diary, he talked with Jill about it. Jill sobbed her eyes out and told your husband everything. But how does that have anything to do with the accident they were in? They were at your house, right? They were hit while they were walking home. After Jill apologized, her and Brienne played for a little bit. Right after her and your husband left our house, we heard a huge crash nearby. Since it was literally right after they left, we went to go see if everything was okay. But when we got to the accident, we saw Jill and your husband face down on the ground. You're lying. Why didn't you say anything to me? I tried. I called you like 30 times. Not only me, a bunch of people said they tried to get in touch with you. Did you really turn your phone off to ignore our calls? I just didn't want to be interrupted on my vacation with Matt. Yeah, that's what I thought. All you cared about was your stupid trip with my husband. Well, what's so bad about that? But why do my parents say it's their fault for what happened? Because I left her with them? Because they didn't go to the scene of the accident when it happened? Yeah, that's part of why they feel responsible. Matt's parents especially feel responsible for what happened. But really, it's your fault. Well, how is any of this my fault? Who do you think was driving the car that hit them? What? The cops know who did it? Who is it? Yeah, they know. He got out of the car after he hit the two of them. He was screaming, "It's all because she left me." What? You were having multiple affairs, weren't you? One of them being with that guy. You can't be serious. Matt isn't the only man you were sneaking around with. Things were going really well with Matt, so you kicked that first guy to the curb. No matter which way you look at it, everything that happened is because you were having multiple affairs. I can't believe it. The guy seemed like he had no intention of fleeing. The cops arrested him on the spot. He was screaming out your full name pretty loudly. Everyone in the area heard him. I don't know what to say. This doesn't feel real. You're nothing but a pathetic, hopeless monster. Where is Jill right now? What funeral home is she at? I wonder. I do remember your parents saying I can't be held responsible for what I do if I ever see Diane. It's probably for the best that you don't go there. What? Also, why are you asking me? You should be asking your parents that. Don't text me ever again. I really don't want anything to do with you. Please don't say that. Oh, just tell me where she is. You've got to help me. I never meant for anything like this to happen. I told you not to text me anymore. Obviously, a scumbag like you doesn't understand how serious I was when I said that. I actually just got a call from Matt. What did he say? I couldn't make out anything he was saying. He was crying too hard. Brienne has been a total wreck, too. You gotta please help me out. If I don't get to see Jill one last time, I don't want to live anymore. You think you deserve to see her? You tore apart your family by having multiple affairs and forced your daughter to be a bully. Now all of a sudden you want to play the role of a caring mother? Don't say it like that. I had no idea any of this would happen. I never thought that pathetic man would drive straight into Jill and kill her. Wow, you really don't know much about anything. Do you think being oblivious frees you from all responsibility? You were asking me yesterday about where the wake was, but you never showed up. You didn't show up for the funeral today either. Pretending to care is all that matters to you? That's not what I'm saying. When did everyone turn on me all of a sudden? I knew what would happen if I showed up to the wake or the funeral. Everyone would be so mean to me. You're still only worrying about yourself at a time like this. I've never met someone so selfish. Poor Jill. I feel so bad for her. Don't act like you know anything. Put yourself in my shoes. You're right. I could never imagine losing a child like this. My eyes are welling up even thinking about it. So you do have some sympathy for me? I don't feel any sympathy for you at all. You forced your daughter to be a bully. Then you had an affair with my husband. Why would I ever feel bad for you? I'm just another one of your victims. Well, that's your fault. Matt should have never married you. I always thought you two didn't belong together. Were you jealous? Is that why you tried to steal him away? You thought you'd have some glamorous life if you married an exec like him? How pathetic. If you want a dirtbag like him, he's all yours. What? When did you get so high and mighty? I've told you 100 times to agree to the divorce. Me and Matt both think that's what needs to happen. I'll take your place married to the big shot exec and we'll live happily ever after. Well, I've got some big news for you. Matt was forced to step down from his position at his job. No way. That should be obvious. His job has been all over the news because of what happened. It's Matt's fault they're getting all the bad publicity. All of their clients and accounts know about what happened too. I don't believe you. So he's not the company president anymore? Yep, that's right. I think he's officially finished tomorrow. His dad being the chairman of the company played a part in it too. Matt knows he really didn't have much of a choice. He was sending me some pretty pathetic texts the other day. Please, take me back. I couldn't believe it. He makes me sick. Oh my God. Oh, but don't worry. I didn't give him the time of day. I'm sure he'll come crying back to you in no time. You two dirtbags can pretend to be the victims and cry your eyes out together. I don't want anything to do with him. He's nothing but an unemployed bum now. You can have him back. You better be careful of just kicking another guy to the curb. Don't you remember what happened the last time you did that? You can never be sure what a person does when you back them into a corner. Stop it. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have a message from your parents. They put all your stuff in a storage unit. They left the key for it in their mailbox. They said to come get it and then get lost. They said that? They said they'd take care of filing for the divorce with your husband. No. Why is this happening to me? When you go and get the key, I'd be a little careful if I were you. There might be a couple reporters outside your house when you get there. Reporters? A woman's affair leads to her young daughter's death is a pretty brutal headline, if you ask me. It's all the news is talking about right now. Rightfully so, it's a pretty insane story. I want nothing to do with it or with you. So this will be the last time you ever hear from me. Is it seriously all over the news? Yeah, it is. It's only a matter of time before your face is plastered all over the internet and on everyone's TV screens. So, see ya. No, that can't happen. That would be a nightmare. Go, get the key for me. Even though I warned them about the reporters, those two idiots showed up at the house to get the key. They were greeted by about 10 different news stations there to cover the story. They were all over social media, too. They were celebrities. With nowhere to run and no one to help them, they ran off somewhere deep in the woods to hide away in shame. I'm getting child support every month, so I guess that means they're making a living one way or another. Although there are still people online who are trying to track them down, I don't think they'll be able to live a quiet life for a while. Matt's parents have been super supportive throughout this whole ordeal. His father actually got me a job at his company. If things go well, he said he'd make me company president in a few years.